The assassination of President John F. Kennedy on November 22, 1963, remains one of the most shocking events in American history. The sudden and violent end to a charismatic leader's life left the nation in a state of profound grief and confusion. In March 2025, the National Archives released nearly 64,000 pages of previously classified documents related to the assassination. This monumental release was the result of decades of advocacy and legal battles. This long-awaited release held the promise of uncovering the unredacted truth behind that fateful day in Dallas. For many, it was a chance to finally put to rest the numerous conspiracy theories that have persisted over the years. The American public, along with historians and researchers, hoped these documents would provide definitive answers to lingering questions. Questions that have haunted the collective consciousness of the nation for over 6 decades. Who was responsible for JFK's death? Was it truly the act of a lone gunman, or was there a larger, more sinister plot at play? Were there other individuals or groups involved besides Lee Harvey Oswald? Theories have ranged from organized crime to foreign governments, each with its own set of purported evidence. The sheer volume of released material suggested a potential treasure trove of insights. Historians and researchers prepared for the painstaking task of sifting through the documents. Could this be the moment when the fog of speculation finally cleared, revealing the complete picture of what happened on that tragic day? The hope was palpable. As the documents became public, a sense of anticipation gripped the nation. People from all walks of life were eager to learn the truth. News outlets around the world scrambled to analyze the contents, eager to break any groundbreaking revelations. The media frenzy was unprecedented. The release of these documents marked a pivotal moment in the ongoing quest for answers surrounding the JFK assassination. It was a historic step towards transparency and truth. While the unredacted documents did not reveal a smoking gun, they shed significant light on the shadowy world of Cold War espionage and the CIA's central role. The documents revealed a vast network of covert operations, surveillance programs, and clandestine activities. One particularly revealing document was a previously redacted section of a 1961 memo by Arthur Schlesinger Jr., a historian and advisor to President Kennedy. The memo expressed concerns about the CIA's growing influence and its practice of placing agents undercover as State Department employees. This practice, Schlesinger argued, blurred the lines between diplomacy and espionage. Further deepening the intrigue, the documents also detailed Oswald's travel from Mexico City back to the U.S. in the months leading up to the assassination. These files suggested close monitoring of Oswald by intelligence agencies, raising questions about what they knew about him and his activities. The unredacted files provided a stark reminder of the clandestine world in which the assassination unfolded. Despite decades of speculation, the newly released documents did not provide evidence of a second gunman or a grand conspiracy. The release of these documents was highly anticipated, with many hoping they would finally shed light on the unanswered questions surrounding the assassination. The official narrative, as determined by the Warren Commission in 1964, maintains that Lee Harvey Oswald acted alone in killing the president. This conclusion has been the cornerstone of the official account for decades. Gerald Posner, author of the meticulously researched book Case Closed, has long argued that Lee Harvey Oswald acted alone. Posner's work is often cited by those who support the lone gunman theory. Posner maintains that the evidence overwhelmingly points to Oswald as the sole gunman. He argues that the forensic and ballistic evidence leaves little room for doubt. However, the lack of definitive proof of a larger conspiracy has not silenced those who believe that Oswald was merely a pawn in a larger game. Conspiracy theorists continue to question the official narrative, pointing to inconsistencies and unexplained details. The circumstances surrounding the assassination, including Oswald's background and his subsequent murder by Jack Ruby, continue to fuel suspicion. Ruby's actions have only added to the intrigue and speculation. The newly released documents, while not providing concrete evidence of a conspiracy, have done little to quell these suspicions. Many sections of these documents remain redacted, leaving room for further speculation. The question of whether Oswald acted alone or as part of a larger plot remains one of the most enduring mysteries. This debate continues to captivate the public imagination, ensuring that the assassination of JFK remains a topic of intense interest and discussion. Among the most intriguing documents released were an FBI memo from J. Edgar Hoover, dated November 24, 1963, and a CIA memo detailing the KGB's assessment of Oswald. The Hoover memo discussed Oswald's death at the hands of Jack Ruby and its implications for the investigation. Hoover expressed concern about the public's reaction to Oswald's murder, fearing it would fuel conspiracy theories. The CIA memo, originating from the agency's St. Petersburg station in November 1991, revealed that a KGB official had reviewed files on Oswald and concluded that he was never a KGB agent. The official also noted Oswald's poor marksmanship, casting doubt on his ability to have carried out the assassination with precision. These documents offer glimpses into the immediate aftermath of the assassination and the intelligence community's early assessments of Oswald. The Hoover memo highlights concerns about public perception, while the KGB files add another layer of intrigue to the ongoing debate about Oswald's true allegiances. While the release of the JFK assassination documents was intended to promote transparency, it inadvertently exposed personal information, including social security numbers of individuals connected to the case. This breach of privacy was not just a minor oversight, but a significant lapse in safeguarding sensitive data. This raised serious concerns about privacy rights and the government's responsibility to protect sensitive information. The public began to question how such a critical error could occur and what measures were in place to prevent future incidents. Among those affected were former congressional employees from the late 1970s, whose personal information was included in the released files. These individuals had their privacy compromised without their consent or prior knowledge. Judy K. Barga and William A. Harnage were two such individuals whose identities were inadvertently exposed. Their lives were disrupted as they had to deal with the fallout of this exposure. The release of their social security numbers and other personal details put them at risk of identity theft. This risk was not just theoretical, it had real-world implications for their financial and personal security. The privacy violations sparked outrage and calls for accountability. People demanded answers and actions to ensure such breaches would not happen again. Joseph DiGenova, a former U.S. attorney, announced plans to sue the National Archives for negligence. This legal action underscored the severity of the situation. The White House responded by offering credit monitoring and new social security numbers to those affected. However, these measures were seen as too little, too late by many. However, the damage was already done, underscoring the need for greater care when releasing historical documents. The incident served as a stark reminder of the potential consequences of mishandling sensitive information. The incident highlighted the ethical dilemmas inherent in releasing sensitive historical documents and the importance of careful redaction. Moving forward, it is crucial to balance the public's right to know with the need to protect individual privacy. The release of the JFK assassination documents, rather than quelling conspiracy theories, breathed new life into them. One figure who features prominently in many conspiracy theories is James Jesus Angleton, the CIA's former counterintelligence chief. Angleton, known for his eccentricities and deep belief in Soviet moles within the US government, played a controversial role in the aftermath of the assassination. His actions, often shrouded in secrecy, have led some to believe that he was involved in a cover-up. The unredacted documents provided further insight into his mindset and activities during that time. The release reignited interest in Angleton's role and fueled speculation about what he knew and whether his actions were motivated by a desire to protect national security or to conceal a darker truth. The Angleton enigma continues to fascinate and frustrate those seeking definitive answers. Despite the release of nearly 64,000 pages of documents, a significant portion of the JFK assassination files remains redacted. These redactions, made in the name of national security, continue to obscure crucial details about the case. Among the most heavily redacted documents are those related to the CIA's covert operations in Cuba and its attempts to assassinate Fidel Castro. Some believe that Kennedy's death may have been retaliation for the agency's attempts on Castro's life. The redactions have hindered the search for a complete understanding of the events surrounding JFK's death. They serve as a constant reminder that the full story may never be known, fueling the belief that the truth is still out there. The release of the JFK assassination documents, while providing valuable insights, ultimately failed to provide definitive answers to the most pressing questions. The documents did not reveal a smoking gun or a grand conspiracy, nor did they fully exonerate those suspected of involvement. Instead, the release added more pieces to an already complex historical jigsaw, leaving many questions unanswered. The assassination of John F. Kennedy continues to haunt the American psyche, a stark reminder of the fragility of power. The quest for answers continues to drive researchers, historians, and ordinary citizens alike. The legacy of the JFK assassination is one of unanswered questions and enduring mystery. The search for truth continues, driven by the belief that understanding the past is essential to navigating the present and shaping the future. Despite the lack of definitive answers in the newly released documents, the search for truth surrounding the JFK assassination continues. The release has re-energized researchers, historians, and amateur sleuths, who are now poring over the documents. The JFK assassination serves as a constant reminder that history is a dynamic and evolving narrative. The release of the unredacted documents has breathed new life into this process. As long as questions remain, the search for answers will continue. The search for truth is a journey, not a destination, and the release of the unredacted documents has provided a valuable roadmap for those determined to continue the quest.